Welcome back to the Bethany Sports Beat as we continue our run of the fall sports seasons here on the campus and hear from the coaches about what transpired during those seasons. We're going to talk about women's golf right now, and that means we're going to be bringing in Matt Fletcher to talk about the women's golf season. One that is short, one that for you was new from the standpoint, obviously new players you got to work with. Some of them you might not have even necessarily met face to face till the first time they showed up for practice, which for you meant they got here a few days before school. There was a lot of newness to the season, and then you're confronted with injuries right away. One of the top players coming in, we lose her for the season. Interesting season, I would take.
Yeah, nothing short of exciting and new things facing every day. But the girls were great. We had a good time. It was a great season. And like you said, we lost Logan to Lyme's disease and felt really bad for her. That's obviously something you don't wish on anybody. So, but the girls responded. Everybody had to move up a couple spots, and we played. We competed, and for the most part, I feel like we got a lot better as the season went too. So we're excited for the spring.
Was that one of those things that ultimately, not knowing who these people were, you could see scores and stuff on paper, but obviously new teams, as far as even team results would go, it was just for you, let's focus on what we can do and make ourselves better, and we'll let the team scores kind of just fall where they may?
Yeah, basically we just set individual goals with each girl. It didn't really matter if they're playing the one spot, two, or whatever they were playing. It was, what are you shooting now? What do you think we can get to and work to get to here? And then ultimately that helps the girls as a team score just by each girl improving, and we showed a ton of it. So it was good, I think.
And the one gal really showed out for you guys, Mackenzie Manthe, who comes in, gets all conference honors through her play. I know she actually was a medalist at one of the tournaments really early in the season for you, but she was one of those that at typically the number one level, you can kind of always count on her to kind of lead the charge for the entire team.
Yeah, Kenzie was very steady. She showed up every day. We knew what we were going to get out of her, and she was just a solid golfer, and she didn't really handle, she played with the ones across the conference, and it didn't really rattle her, which is ultimately a really tough task some of the times when some of those girls are really, really good. But then, it kind of filtered down to the rest of the girls too, having to move up a spot where they might not be quite as comfortable, but I think they saw her kind of showing up steadily every week, and she was kind of the voice of leadership for us.
What did you learn specifically as a coach? You had done some of this in the past at some of the other institutions you worked at, but as the head coach here, maybe some things maybe more administratively and just the coordination, but what did you learn and what were your takeaways from this season?
I think the difference, you just got to treat each one of the females differently. They all have different ways that they want to compete. They have different ways they want to prepare. They have different ways they want to eat before the meet, before, after. I mean, they're all very different. You got to treat them each way and treat them each that way. Golf is an individual sport, and it really shows it individually. So I got to take the time to make sure I get to know each girl individually so I can help best coach them the best of my ability, depending on what they need, kind of working together as a team.
All right. I'd ask this of another coach. I'm going to ask you as well, because obviously when you come to a recruiting standpoint, which is kind of the portion you're in now, although in Minnesota it's hard to get a lot of recruiting for golf in when the courses are about to close and things like that, but you can look at the paper, you can see scores and results of that, but what are some of the other key components that you're looking for in terms of women's golfers here on the campus?
We need girls that fit the university, its culture, what we're looking for as a college, and making sure that we get girls that want to be here. And then I'm doing a lot of research and digging in with coaches, trying to build relationships with high school coaches to find girls that maybe they've only played golf a couple of years in high school, but they've shown improvement as they've been going, and we've been getting a lot of rapport from coaches and really referrals type of things to really find the girls that maybe aren't highly recruited, because golf is a quieter sport, and who better to know what their potential of what their hopes are for this spring than to ask their coaches. And one thing you always hear is they always have a goal of what they shot last year and what they're hoping for this year, so that kind of gives you an idea of what could fit. And now knowing the scores in the conference, what we need to be competitive. I've just been kind of doing a little research with that and working with high school coaches mainly.
Yeah, I like the word potential. Let's go with that. We'll close with that as well. Potential for new players coming in and certainly the returning players here at Bethany as far as moving into next season. Again, Matt Fletcher, Don Westfall, you've been talking women's golf here on the Bethany Sports Beat.